What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so in this video, I want to give even more reasons why, more facts, I should say, to back up my belief that Lonzo Ball is a bum. Okay? Now, my last couple of videos that I've done, I think I was kind of being fair. I wasn't really going in on him like I could, you know? I was just giving some examples as far as his overall career as to why he has been so underwhelming and why he has failed to meet expectations, which is an understatement. Okay? Like I said before, you can't sit there and have the bar set so high for expectations, and then when you don't meet those expectations and don't come close to meeting those expectations, then all of a sudden you want to cry foul and people criticize you. You know what I'm saying? This is the new soft, you know what I'm saying, like can't take criticism, generation that we're dealing with. The mama's boy generation. But anyway, I'm really just trying to piss off these extreme Lonzo fanatics, man. I really am. I saw some of the comments that you guys left before I blocked you. You know what I'm saying? And it was fucked up because I wasn't even really personally attacking Lonzo, but you guys felt like you had to personally attack me. So I'm gonna be a little bit more hard hitting in this one. Let's talk about the fact that Lonzo Ball, for the most part, can't shoot to save his fucking life. When he first came into the league, that was supposed to be one of his strong suits, his outside shooting. Okay? Didn't he shoot like 38% or something from the three-point line in college or something? I don't know the exact number, but he's supposed to be a really good outside shooter in college. And we heard the comparisons. He was supposed to be like Steph Curry in the NBA. He's supposed to be a great outside shooter. Not necessarily a great overall scorer, but a great shooter. And that has not translated into the NBA. Not by a long shot. Steph Curry for his career is something about 47, 48% from the floor in his career. He shoots well over 42% from three-point range in his career. He's an exceptional outside shooter. The greatest three-point shooter I've ever seen in my life, and one of the greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. Lonzo Ball can't even... He's not even good enough to shine... He's not even good enough to shine Steph's shoes. Lonzo shines the shoes of the guy that shines Steph's shoes. That's how far beneath he is as a basketball player as Steph Curry. Okay? I'm not even going to touch the health issues, the fact that he can't, seem to be able to play 70 games in a season to save his life. That's not, I'm not even going to put that as part of the equation. You know what I'm saying? That is part of the reason why he's a bust. But of the 129 games this guy's played in, right? The 129 games that he's played in as of recording this video, 98 of those games, he's shot under 50% from the floor. Under 50% from the floor. That's 76% of the games he's played in, he's shot under 50% from the floor. Well, he's a guard. Guards don't shoot a high percentage. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even though he's a relatively big guard, 6'6", I think, 6'7", point guard, the poorest defense that we have nowadays. You got guys like Steph Curry, who Steph's brother. He shoots 43% from three-point range, and probably shoots like 45, 46% from the floor. He's much smaller than Lonzo, I think. He's like, what, 6'3"? Okay. Allen Iverson, 5'11". His career field goal percentage is higher than Lonzo, despite the fact that he shot the ball on a per-game basis more than almost anybody in NBA history. I think only Elgin Baylor had a higher career field goal attempts per game average, maybe Jordan too, one of the two. But Allen Iverson shot the ball more than almost anybody in NBA history. Volume score, plus being 5'11", and his field goal percentage is higher than Lonzo Ball. So there's really no excuse for Lonzo Ball only being a 40% career shooter in this era. Now, 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying, the way defenses were played in, the way the game's played, might give you a pass, you know, for him to shoot that percentage. Even though guys his height usually didn't shoot that low. But this era, nah, no excuse for a guy as heavily touted as him to shoot that poor. But let's just lower the bar a little bit. Let's lower the bar to that 40% mark. Okay? Let's lower the bar to that 40% mark. All right? Even if you take it down to 40%, in 74 out of the 129 games that Lonzo Ball has played in so far, he shot under 40% in those games. 57% of the games he's played in, he's shot under 40%. So what's your excuse now? More than half of the games he's played in, he's shot under 40%, 39.9% and under. And let me lower the bar even further for you, extreme delusional Lonzo fanatics. In 38, almost 40, 38 of those 129 games he's played in, he's shot under 30% from the floor. 29% of those games. So almost 1/3 of the time that Lonzo Ball suits up, he shoots under 30% from the floor. Does this sound like a guy who is a superstar or is an all-star? No. This sounds like a guy that cannot shoot the basketball on a consistent basis at all. He's consistently inconsistent. So then you got the argument, well, he's not really a scorer, he's a passer, blah, 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 blah. Well, look. Went over the numbers, compared him to the guy that people always want to compare him to, Jason Kidd. And in his third season, as Lonzo Ball is deep into his third season, he has 24 games in his career where he has achieved 10 or more assists. That's not that bad, okay? Not that bad. But when you compare him to Jason Kidd, it pales in comparison considerably, okay? And Jason Kidd's first full season, in his first season, he almost matches what Lonzo has done going into his third season. Jason Kidd in his first season had 22 games of at least 10 or more assists. And mind you, Jason Kidd, his assist numbers when he had double digits were much more impressive. Like, I look at his first season, he had like multiple games, like half of them was like 15, 16, 17 assists. Lonzo barely gets it, you know. Like the other day, you know, he might be, the coach might let him stat pad, you know, toward the end to get those 9th and 10th and 11th assists. Jason Kidd was getting those Jones easy. Easy work. And then when I crunched the numbers further, and I went to Jason Kidd's 129th game in his career versus Lonzo Ball's 129th game, Jason Kidd had 49 double-digit assist games. which included multiple 17, 19, 18 assists, 125 assist game. I mean, dominant performances by Jason Kidd. Lonzo barely scraping by like 11, 10. This is for a guy who's taught it for being Jason Kidd 2.0. Really? Get out of here. So in conclusion, throughout his career, Lonzo Ball is bad 3/4 of the time, awful more than half of the time, and atrocious about a third of the time. So there's a quarter of the time, 1 out of every 4 games, maybe 1 out of every 5 games, well, Lonzo's not that bad, which is what me and Ticket and LVZ, all of us here in the LDBC have been saying about this. We don't agree on a lot of shit sometimes, but we've been unanimous in our opinion that this guy is a fucking bum. The numbers support that argument. You know what I'm saying? I know some of you guys are, for whatever reason, you guys are attached to him on some level. You like his show, you like him as a person, whatever it is. The case is, whatever the case may be, the fact is, he's a bust. Okay? I know you don't want to embrace that term, but he's a bust. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Perkins finally came to that conclusion. And you know the reason why you don't really hear it on ESPN? Because a lot of these guys don't want to hurt his feelings. Maybe some of these guys on ESPN or Fox Sports, maybe they like Lonzo. Maybe they interacted with him. You know what I'm saying? But to use that term on TV, that's an extreme term. Kendrick Perkins just don't give a fuck. So, he told the truth. So I saw some people say, oh, well, who's Kendrick Perkins? He won't shit anyway. Yeah, but nobody, I tell you this, nobody was comparing Kendrick Perkins to Willis Reed or Wes Unseld. Nobody was saying that Kendrick Perkins was going to be the next Wes Unseld. Nobody was saying that Kendrick Perkins was going to be, the next Shaq or whatever. Kendrick Perkins was Kendrick Perkins. He played his role very well. But people were saying that Lonzo Ball could come right in the NBA and lead the Warriors to a championship. We remember all this shit. Number 2 overall pick. And he has not delivered. In a stretch of 4 games, supposed to erase all of that mediocrity? No. And he went right back to what we normally see of him. Okay? Which is subpar play. So at the end of the day, Lonzo Ball is just who he is. Inconsistent. I'm going to continue to be. This has been Too Raw for TV. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you find it informative. And I hope that you found this to be almost a spiritual experience. And I hope you come to light if you're a delusional Lonzo Ball fan. But you're most likely you're not. You're just going to say shit like, man, you're the biggest hater I've ever seen in my life. Yada, 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 yada. You're going to write a whole fucking thesis about how the numbers don't truly show how the impact that Lonzo Ball has in the game. Meanwhile, tonight, Lonzo could probably have like maybe, it's the Knicks, so he might have a good game. It's the Knicks. He might have like 12 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, might shoot like 5 or 15, scared to get the foul line. So, I ain't even going to the free throw. I haven't even discussed the free throw shooting. I didn't even discuss that because there's nothing to discuss. I mean, percentage-wise, he's the worst free throw shooter at the point guard position in NBA history. I mean, I'm not even discussing that. And Rondo was not a really good foul shooter at 60%. But Rondo looks like fucking, he looks like goddamn Hershey Hawkins at the foul line compared to Lonzo Ball. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to be a so-called heavily touted shooter and you shoot 51% from the free throw line for your career, or was it 46% from the free throw line? It's so low, I can't even remember. It's atrocious. I think he's actually under 50% for his career. I think he's just 51% for the season. It was like 45, 46% for his career, I think, at the foul line, which puts him at DeAndre Jordan, Ben Wallace. It puts him in that territory. Chris Dudley territory. That's how terrible he is, man. I don't know how to put it even further, man. He's a bum. I don't know what to explain. I don't know how to explain this further to you guys for to go through your little fucking pea brains. But he's a bum. Okay? A bum.